Another cloudy day today, no rain at least. And what's going on today? I was reading this was kind of interesting. I know there was talks before where Starlink was providing internet access for Ukraine during the war and so forth, but now it sounds like they're cutting it off because of their use of drones and I guess their internet service. This one says SpaceX curbed Ukraine's use of Starlink internet for drones. SpaceX has taken steps to prevent Ukraine's military from using the company's Starlink satellite internet service for controlling drones in the region during the country's war with Russia, SpaceX's president said Wednesday. SpaceX's Starlink satellite internet service, which has provided Ukraine's military with broadband communications in its defense against Russia's military, was, quote, never meant to be weaponized. Gwynne Shotwell, SpaceX's president and chief operating officer, said during a conference in Washington, D.C. However, Ukrainians have leveraged it in ways that were unintentional and not part of any agreement, she said. It makes me wonder what kind of drones they're talking about in this instance specifically, if any, because a lot of the drones they often show are just the pro-consumer ones using to scout out the area and all that. Although it says Ukraine has made effective use of unmanned aircraft for spotting enemy positions, targeting long-range fires, and dropping bombs. There are things that we can do to limit their ability to do that, she said, referring to Starlink's use with drones. There are things that we can do and have done. And with this, it actually says here Russia has attempted to jam Starlink signals in the region, although I guess they weren't successful. And it says, asked if SpaceX had anticipated Starlink's use for offensive purposes in Ukraine when deciding to ship terminals into conflict zones, Shotwell said, we didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. Our Starlink team may have, I don't know, but we learned pretty quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects, I guess, all the war around that region too. And as many of you know, there's so much hysteria when it comes to people flying drones nowadays. Even if they're flying it, say, for fun, just capturing the scenery, or an FPV drone racing around trees and so forth, everyone thinks it has bombs or is spying on you. This article made me think, it just sounded kind of ludicrous in my opinion anyways. It says here, how to legally stop drone surveillance near your home. So by the sounds of it, the person apparently was swimming and then they claimed there was a drone around the area or something like that. I guess the fear would be it's taking videos of them. And with that, the person started talking about how you can't just shoot it down because they treat drones like an aircraft in a lot of places, like in the US, and so that is illegal. But then like these tips, again, it makes me wonder, is this real? It says here, for example, carry an umbrella. It might feel cumbersome, but an umbrella is a cheap and practical way to protect your privacy. In rainy or extra sunny weather, it's a no-brainer. You might get some strange looks, but who cares? It's not like you need to always use it either. Keep one in your bag to pull out when you want to use it. Again, that sounds so ridiculous to me, in my opinion. Would you say the same thing for this, where you see people carrying, I don't know, like a smartphone or something like that? Do you always like bring an umbrella, whip it out, and assume, I don't know, they're capturing videos or pictures of you specifically? Or this one says, use your surroundings as cover. Own a drone or know someone who does? I bet you've had to deal with someone throwing something at it. That is not the right way to avoid drones. You should take a more passive approach. In bad weather, heavy rain, fog, and wind, drones have difficulty flying or getting great footage. Score for you. When it's sunny and you see a drone buzzing overhead, find a place it's less likely to spot you. Trees, alcoves, awnings, and tunnels are all excellent places to tuck away while the drone passes. To me, this sounds too over the top and ridiculous, in my opinion. Just from my experience anyways, personally, for the most part, when you're flying a drone capturing scenery, there probably will be those crazy people, but a lot of people nowadays, they actually just like wave at the drone and so forth, like they say hi to it, because they know you're just capturing things like the scenery. This, again, it just seems kind of far-fetched. What would you say about stuff like this? On a side note, it has something interesting happen. Can't talk much about it, but I don't really see the negative to it so far. It will be good too, in my opinion, even though it's not related to any of this stuff that I do specifically. So, just a heads up if you see something different all of a sudden, per se. See you guys later.